I have very low expectations for this game, but I was on another game just like this with bicycles, bicycling, whatever, biking, and like this is the most boring gameplay, but I gotta talk about the World Cup, and so even if I'm not doing a whole ton here, I can tell you guys my thoughts on the World Cup. So yesterday I left like right after the daily upload. I walked to my parents. I was actually late getting there. And so I just chose to watch the Qatar v. What do I have to do here? Kick? Oh. I watched the Qatar v Switzerland game. I watched it from the beginning. I just went the beginning. And then anytime there was a corner, a foul, or a goal scored, I would skip 30 seconds ahead, or sometimes 1 minute ahead. Can I get an egg now? Heck yeah, we can get an egg. And then I skipped all of halftime, and I skipped all the hydration breaks. So by the end of the game, I was actually caught up to where I was supposed to be. Also, these Roblox games suck. This is just like Get Fat to Splash or those garbage games. We're gonna keep playing it because it's what we've got for today. I wanted Qatar to win that game. They were down until I think it was the 95th minute with 6 minutes of overtime, and they scored a goal. Super exciting finish for them. Then after that, we had Brazil and Morocco. I've got all the like scores pulled up, but I'm trying to remember which order the games were in. So we had Brazil versus Morocco. Honestly, I didn't care about this game too much. I wanted Brazil to win. It ended up at 1-1. And I think that's a perfect score for those two teams. Those two teams are going to have no problem getting out of the group stage. Like if they do we have auto kick? Yeah, let's just keep kicking for a second. If they don't make it out of the group stage, they're going to get clowned on because that's ridiculous. I can't see them knocking out of the group stage. Because after them, Haiti and Scotland played. I wanted Scotland to win, and they did. I watched that one with my cousins. I went and picked them up in between the two games. Honestly, not a whole ton to say there. We'll see if Scotland can make it to the round of 32 off of a third place finish. I just can't imagine Scotland beating Brazil or Morocco. But we'll see. And then the Australia v Turkey game has been arguably my favorite game of the entire tournament so far, other than obviously the US. I'm way too patriotic for it to not be. The Australia versus Turkey game, I'm gonna look up some stats on my phone super quick, just from a reel my brother sent me, I think. Australia was just insane. I don't know how they did what they did. Okay, so here are some stats from the Australia team. So Australia took 8 shots. Turkey took 28. Possession, Turkey was 63% versus 37. Australia had 273 passes, whereas Turkey had 679. Pass accuracy was 91% for Turkey and only 75% for Australia. And then the rest of the stats aren't that crazy. Turkey had 8 corners, Australia had 5, but that's not that crazy to me, the difference there. But Australia won 2-0. I cannot believe just how good the defense on Australia was. I'm honestly probably going to be rooting for Australia quite a bit in this tournament now, just because of how exciting of a game that was. Australia is so much better than I expected them to be. I don't know how good Turkey is. I kind of pay attention to their rankings. I look at it before all of the games, but the game was just absolutely insane. And then this morning was the first game that I didn't really watch. So I had church this morning. I actually had a musical number. I did it pretty well, I'd say. I only messed up a few times, but I don't think the congregation could really tell. So I thought about watching the Germany game back, but I was like, they're probably beating... Oh, auto kick makes me... That's weird. There's a countdown. Not that matters because we're never playing this game again. I just kind of figured they were winning. After my musical number, my brother was there. And I was like, I'm just going to guess the score. I thought it was halftime, and I guessed the score was 2-0 at halftime. It came to find out, or I came to find out later, it was 3-1 at halftime, which was, basically what I expected. And then they ended up winning that one 7-1. So I'm kind of glad I didn't watch that game, or I only watched the last 25, maybe 30 minutes plus the stoppage time. So I did watch, a third of that game, but it wasn't that exciting anyways. The first half was more exciting anyways. Then I watched Netherlands versus Japan, and I wanted Japan to win. And honestly, that was a pretty good game too. Japan came back. I don't remember how late it was in the game. I think it was at like the 89th minute, and they had a little bit of stoppage time. But they came back to tie it, so very similar to the Qatar game. The countries that I don't really care about, like if they were to get knocked out, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But when you pick a team and cheer for them, it's pretty exciting. And then we had the Ivory Coast versus Ecuador game. That one was pretty crazy. I think Ecuador had 2 shots that bounced off the crossbar, and then Ecuador had 1 shot that bounced off the crossbar. Anyways, Ivory Coast ended up winning that one 1-0. Once again, Ivory Coast is the team that I wanted to win that one. Every single team that I've wanted to win hasn't lost yet. Some teams have tied. Other than the very first game, I wouldn't have minded South Africa winning that one. That one I was just kind of watching for fun. I should have picked a team, but had I picked a team, it probably would have been South Africa. So the first game I wouldn't have got. And then Germany versus Curacao. Like, obviously, I would love to see Curacao win. Hopefully, I'm saying that half right. But, like, my mom was asking, because I showed up at my parents' house after church, and they're having a meeting downstairs. No, I don't want notifications from this. And so that's part of the reason why I couldn't watch the game. I could have watched, like, the whole second half if the meeting wasn't going. My mom's like, oh, is the World Cup on? I was like, yeah, but they're probably blowing them out of the water right now. And sure enough, 7-1. And then the last game we just watched, it ended not even 10, 15 minutes ago, was Sweden versus Tunisia. I don't know how to say all of these. Like, they're calling Turkey. It's not Turkey. It's just Turkey. Get that out of here. I decided. So a lot of these games, I kind of want the underdog to win. But just looking at that one, I kind of figured Tunisia's not good enough that they're going to knock out a better team. And so I decided to cheer for Sweden in that one. I don't really care if Sweden or the Netherlands wins their group stage. I'm just hoping that Japan wins. And so, I don't know. That one I just decided to cheer for Sweden. And it was like 3-1, and I was debating leaving at halftime. I was like, if they're up 3 at halftime, then we'll leave. And then they raised it to 4-1 around 88 minutes. I was like, okay, we can leave. It's been a long day. And then I just checked the score. It looks like they scored again, and it's now 5-1. I'm assuming that's over. It's definitely been long enough. So, pretty exciting. The entire World Cup, other than that first game. The teams that I have wanted to win have won. So tomorrow morning is Spain versus Cabo Verde, also known as Cape Verde. It's Cabo Verde if you look in Guess My Country. That one I want Spain to win. They're definitely going to win, but other than the US, I think I'd like to see Lamine Yamal win the World Cup just because he's so young. I think that'd be awesome. And then we've got Belgium and Egypt. I'm not sure who I want to win that one yet. Probably Egypt, just because Belgium is ranked higher. I really want Iran to make it out of the Group G. Iran should beat New Zealand, or at least tie. I'm thinking they beat New Zealand like 2-1. And then Saudi Arabia and Uruguay, I don't really care about. We'll see if I end up watching that game. That might be the first game that I completely skip out on. In the last, just few days, I've watched almost 24 hours. Let me count how many games there's been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's been 12 games. Each game runs for roughly an hour and a half. So that would be 18 hours. You don't really watch halftime, but you are there during it. So it comes out to almost, I don't even know. It's been over 20 hours sitting in front of the TV. Oh, and then I watched The Chronicles of Narnia. Me and Christina started that a while ago, and I finished it today. It's a great Sunday movie if you think of Aslan as Jesus and kind of the analogies there. So I think I might go watch Prince Caspian now because, like, oh, Narnia is so good. It's been so long since I watched it. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I know this is like the most boring game ever, but I've just been watching soccer after football game after soccer game after football game. See how I like tried to cater to all audiences. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Adios.